tailor. I will be 55 very soon. And I work as a psychic medium, but also as a tutor, teaching people to do what I do. I work in lots of different ways. I do work with the future for people. I also work with what is currently going on to give them guidance as to what they may need to do to take them forward. But I also work with the people that have gone to the spirit world, the loved ones, and that's quite a big part of my job, because obviously it's about giving evidence, whereas the future, until it happens, you don't know that it's right. I've actually lived in Munsley for 6 years now, and I've always wanted to live by the sea, and as a child I used to get brought to Walcott. I like walking on the beach with Kira. That's my big thing, because the energy of the sea is just absolutely amazing, and it's really good to clear out the cobwebs. And obviously in the summer, nice to experience the sun and the wind. But I go on the beach whether it's raining or not. If I'm doing a personal reading, I will use guidance cards, and the ones I use are mermaids and dolphins, which are very appropriate for where I live. It's a good way if people have never had a reading before, because obviously if I start just talking about stuff, it can be quite freaky, but with the cards that are always appropriate, that kind of makes them feel a bit more relaxed. I get a mix of people. I get people that come because they've never had a reading and they want to experience it, or I have people that have lost somebody particular that they want messages from, and then I get people that are having all sorts of issues about relationships, jobs, etc. Each person is different, each reading is different, and that's the fun part of it. I see my job as a great responsibility, because I don't want to mislead anybody, and I'm always honest with people. I can never tell them what they want to hear, and I don't do that, but I know some people have worked in that way and it's not nice. But I always want the best for whoever I'm working with, because I want them to have the life that they deserve, and if I can play a part in that, then that's a major part of my work. The book was my way of telling my story, my journey, in order to help people. But the idea of the cover came up because of one of the stories that I actually told in the book. And it was a lady that had come to me. She'd lost her brother. I'd said to her about scattering the ashes, because she'd still got the ashes, and she said, "Oh, I don't know what to do with them." And I just said, "Well, at the beach, that's where your brother loved to be." And I just said, "Oh, I've got a single yellow rose. Your brother wants you to have a single yellow rose." And it didn't make any sense to her. And a few days later, she just texted me to say that she'd scattered the ashes on Munsley Beach, and on the waves came back a single yellow rose. So that was the story that led to the book cover. I did meet a person that became my partner, and it was when I had my daughter that he kind of changed, and he became really violent, and that was really difficult, because it's like you're trying to keep everything together because there are children around and keep them happy and safe. But the mental torture is absolutely horrendous, and the person makes you feel that you're worthless, that you can't leave them. They hold threats over you, and it's really difficult to get out of. The last few years I was there, I was actually able to develop the spiritual side of myself, so I did have readings. The particular person I saw wasn't aware of the situation that I was in, and her guidance was, "Well, you're supposed to be with him, he's your soulmate." But fortunately I then met a few months later another medium, and I was very low in confidence, and the first thing he said to me when I sat down was, "Have you met your soulmate?" Of course, you bloody well haven't. And he was very bold about that, and he said, "You need to get out of that relationship." He said, "If you don't," he said, "spirit are going to intervene and it's going to be messy." And it's just like that gave me hope again. The last few months of the relationship were quite difficult, but when I saw the lovely medium that had really given me a wake-up call, I just decided that I needed to do something, but I felt quite powerless because we owned a house together. It was originally my house, and then we bought it together, and that was always a major hold. But I was saying to somebody, I really don't understand how I'm going to get out of this. He is not going to leave me alone. But I then had this this almighty aha moment, and I just thought, do you know what? I'll give him the house. He can have the house. And it was the only way that I could leave, because the house was important, material things were important. But for me, although, you know, I did get told off by my dad for doing that, and people thought I was mad, actually my freedom was worth more than a property. The thing is, through my experience, I've been able to help so many people that are going through it or that have been in that situation, and they feel so trapped. And it's about giving them their power back. It's about taking control back in your own life. And sometimes when you're on the floor, you can't do that. But, you know, if my experience has helped people, then it was worth going through. And I know that a lot of people have looked at me and thought, oh my God, well, if she can do it, so can I. So they've had the happy ending that they deserve as well.